One day, when Ellen was about 2 months old, my vision was realized. I was one of 3 researchers being considered for a community evaluation project. I had a phone interview with 2 community leaders scheduled for 1 o'clock. I had everything scheduled down to the minute. Ellen nursed at noon and was sound asleep by 12:55 p.m. The call came in promptly at 1 p.m., and I had all my questions prepared, a cell phone with a mute button, and a headset ready just in case. It was perfect until 1:05 p.m. About 5 minutes into the interview, Ellen started crying. Not screaming, but crying. At 1:06 p.m., she stopped crying and started screaming. She screamed so loudly that both of the interviewers asked if everything was okay. I quickly replied, "Everything's great. Please continue," as they explained the project. I went into Ellen's room, holding down the mute button and periodically testing its power by repeating and asking, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" By the time I got to the crib, the front of my t-shirt soaking wet with breast milk. Ellen had a certain call of the wild that would immediately send my milk making into overdrive. Ellen was screaming because she'd had one of those explosive poops that shot up her back of the diaper, and don't stop until the entire back of the onesie is covered. All of a sudden, as I'm evaluating the crib damage, I hear the dreaded, "Mrs. Brown, are you there?" "Yes, I'm here. I'm just taking notes so I can more thoroughly think through the project. Can you tell me about the project funding?" Woo, it worked. As I started explaining important things that I should have been writing down, I kept one hand on the mute button, pushed Ellen against the crib bumper, and slid her into my arm. Poop was everywhere. I managed to get her undressed, clean her off with a dozen wet wipes, and carry her naked back to my room. She was still crying, and at this point, milk was literally dripping off my shirt. I laid her on my bed long enough to get one arm out of the t-shirt and pulled my drenched bra down around my waist, pulled the nursing pillow around me, and started feeding her. As soon as she was quiet, I came back to the cell. I managed to make a few coherent statements before all hell broke loose. The stress of the situation was too much for my body to take. Within seconds, I was riding the wave of a serious diarrhea attack. This is all too relatable. I was standing up with the nursing pillow around my waist, tears pouring down my face, my t-shirt hanging down my back, and trying to do the pressed cheek penguin walk around the room. As gracefully as possible, I took myself out of the running for the position and thanked the interviews for their time. I just sat there holding Ellen and crying. I felt ashamed about my inability to pull off my vision of working mother perfection. It was one thing to take myself out of the running for the research position, but